We're training to dunk today, guys. We're gonna squat, we're going to do skill work, we're training to become professional athletes. I have athletes who I work with who have helped gain 6 inches of vertical in 3 months. And athletes that I've worked with, a lot of them are now playing in collegiate sports, whether that's youth sports or a couple NCAA athletes. So, it's a journey. I'm trying to dunk, and I'm even trying to go pro. Why? Because life's short. I'm 31, and I spent pretty much 6 years in a desk job just wasting away, and I was super unhappy. And then I realized the happiest I've ever been was playing sports. So if you're watching this, please don't let go of your sports ever. Don't let it go. If it's something you have, please don't take it for granted, because it brings so much joy when you get to play sports with other people. So why am I juggling right now? It's a good ball warm-up. Builds coordination. Like in basketball, you have one large object to track. Here you have lots of small ones. And so when you go back to tracking one large object, it's just way easier. So it's pretty simple. Wembanyama juggles, not just because he's tall, because it legitimately makes you a freak athlete. And you can start with just 2 balls, work your way up to 3 and then 4. But today we're gonna do a lot of stuff, not just juggling. This is just part of the warm-up. If you just juggle a couple minutes a day, you see massive gains. So that's the faster you cannot care what other people think, the happier you'll be, the more successful you'll be. Because if you just put yourself out there, people who vibe with you they're gonna reach out to you, and they're gonna be happy that you shared what you want to share. And everybody else who all the haters out there, that's pretty cliche, but that's their problem. If they think poorly of you, that's their problem. The only reason they're attacking you is because they have something wrong in their life that they can't fix, and they're displacing that on you. So, just block them out and do what you love. Don't hold your life up for them, because they're not holding their life up for you. If they don't care about you, why should you care about them? I will get this 5-ball juggle eventually. Steve Nash is a great example of someone who dribbled tennis balls between classes. It's low energy activity, but high skill. So you can get really skilled while expending little energy. When I was younger, I thought I could play basketball every single second of the day. You can't, man. There's times where you actually can't. Like you're in school, or you're walking home. There's times where you just don't have a ball. So you can always have a tennis ball in your pocket, and you can be bouncing it. That's the cool thing. And it makes you really good at dribbling. It's a new skill. I'm not saying just bounce tennis balls, but I'm saying it can level up your coordination. So this is a follow-along workout. So just be great if you grabbed a tennis ball, start dribbling yourself, and then you can mix it up. Now let's go to foot dribbles. This one's great timing. Oh my gosh. So being a great acrobat will make you a good athlete. A lot of the times it's not a secret that athletes with backgrounds in gymnastics are usually more athletic. One of the best rugby players I ever played with had a wrestling and gymnastics background, and when he got to rugby he was so good at body contact stuff that it was just unfair. It was like he's cheating. And in rugby, body contact is such a big part of the sport, but often players don't get to practice it that much. So with foot tennis ball drills, you can you're practicing your footwork. When people say they don't like soccer, often when basketball players say they don't like soccer, it's because they're not good at balancing on one foot. If you're good at balancing on one foot, then you're good at soccer, or you can be. And balancing on one foot is extremely important for basketball. So often soccer players are naturally good at basketball. They say stuff like, "Oh, you can use your hands to pass?" That it feels like cheating to me. That's what Steve Nash said. And Steph Curry plays soccer. All the most exciting NBA players right now playing soccer or played soccer growing up: Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So skills, something to think about, because low energy, a couple minutes a day, and you can seriously get huge skill gains without tiring your body out. So you have more energy to play your sport, whether that's basketball, soccer, rugby, tennis, anything. Luka Doncic was a skateboarder, same with Steve Nash. You don't necessarily have to do all these activities if you don't like it, but you can, if you try random stuff, or do some of these tennis ball drills, really easy. You have hand dribbling, hand juggling, foot dribbling, foot juggling. Those are super easy basics to do, and you'll have a ton of gains. Okay, next we're gonna do crawling. Crawling, it's so good for mobility. You have specific stuff you do in the sport, and that's the obvious drills that when people are like, do this basketball drill, it's just so obvious, like, yeah, that'll make you better. And then you have general drills, and maybe it's a little less obvious, but what happens is you get a bigger base of strength. People that have general strength are less resistant to injury, and they can become more explosive without running into issues. The downsides of specific training is there's a high injury rate and you plateau. People with general strength, people that are strong low to the ground, their limits are higher. They have a higher potential than people that are just always doing just the one thing, and they're very imbalanced. So that's what I'm teaching. That's what I want to teach. I want to show you that general skills and general strength give you insane basketball potential, rugby potential, soccer potential. So crawling is great, getting strength low to the ground. Notice my knees are so far over my toes when I'm crawling. Like, you'd be surprised. When I first started this, shit hurt. And you don't want to fight through joint pain. But now that it doesn't hurt, I'm like, yeah, I feel way better. It's a bear crawl. And now a lizard crawl like that. Nice and low. Okay, that's crawling. Pipes are incredible for basketball players because basketball players always wear basketball shoes. A lot of players are underdeveloped in their feet. Think about it. When's the last time you walked around barefoot? When's the last time you trained barefoot? And the issue is that when you copy what the freak athletes do for training, then you're not getting the best training because they're already freak athletes. Do you think LeBron would have made the NBA without strength training? I think so. Do you think Jordan, all like Anthony Edwards, do you think it was really the strength training that made him get to the NBA? Some people are like that. They're genetic, blessed. They have blessed genetic natures, and it just is what it is. But when you research guys like Jonathan Edward, who broke the world record in triple jump, doctors told him that he would never do triple jump. The England physicians for the Olympic team said, "You cannot do triple jump. You will never make it. Your knees are too weak." And what happened? He patiently worked at it for so long. Basically, in his early 20s, he was weak, and then, in his teens, he was weak. He started training. Early 20s, he started getting stronger, and he used certain exercises like a Nordic curl, deep squats, and power cleans. And slowly over time, he transformed over 12 years. That's enough of that. 12 years, dude. 3 Olympic cycles. The reason the Olympics is every 4 years is because that's how long it takes for a true transformation. So, Jonathan Edwards, in his 30s, with a couple silver hairs on his head, wins the world record for triple jump, and it still stands. He's still the best. People told him that he would never be a triple jumper. So that's the type of training that you want to look out for. It's really tempting to follow the guys who are jumping really high, and basically what their workouts consist of is jumping. And like, you might see weights and stuff, but really they're just jumping. And jumping is the best way to just dunk. Like, you don't need anything else to dunk except jump. The problem people get into is that jumping's very imbalanced, and weight training exercises that look like jumping. So what happens is people overdo the same movement, and then they get crushed, and their knees start hurting. So to prevent that and raise the ceiling and not plateau, not get injured, you need general strength through the full range of motion, not just jumping or exercises that mimic jumping. If you're experiencing chronic knee pain this season, this is exactly what you can do to make your knee feel incredible. So basically, these are floss bands, and what you want to do is right here on the big meaty part of your thigh, you just want to pull the band down like that and get that muscle wrapped. And I'm going to do the most basic exercise, but it'll really help you fight knee pain. And also, just what it does is it allows you to get a muscle pump without any damage or strain on the connective tissue in your knee, and blood flow just heals. So you get a nice blood flow here, and it just goes in and like right in all the hard to reach places in your tendons, and just totally heals and brings new nutrients. It washes away old, scar tissue and waste that needs to be removed. And so flossing, you got to do it when you wake up. You can do it when you wake up and before bed, and maybe even at lunch. And it works like a charm. And I'll just show you, it's the easiest thing. So easy. I'm extra preparing for my squats today. I'm excited to squat. Okay, so you just stand here, you just sit here. It's easy. And now you extend your leg like that. And you do this about 100 times. And just until you feel blood flow. You want to feel your muscles. So another thing I want to teach you guys today is intuitive lifting, intuitive workouts. So a lot of people ask for sets and reps, and sets and reps are important because it helps you measure, and measuring is important because it helps you gauge where you are. It's motivating to know that you've improved, and it's also data to know, like, yeah, I did improve and this is working for me and I gotta keep going. But intuitive lifting is just as important, because sets and reps, if you obey the schedule exactly and no exceptions, I know that's a popular mental strategy to make you feel tough, but at the same time, basically, your body is different every single day. You adapt from the day before, and there's so many variables that at the end of the day, the only real thing you need to focus on is right now and now. So how is this exercise feeling for me? The program says 10 reps, especially if you haven't sat down with a trainer and they're watching you or anything. If you're doing this on your own, then you got to understand that whatever amount of reps there are a guideline. And so if you follow the guideline and partway through, say it's 10 reps, partway through you get to 7 reps or whatever, you're not feeling good, for some reason you're feeling something in your knee, or for some reason the muscle is just so tired and you feel that burn is just way more than usual, then you can just stop. And that's the key, because you just want to get to the next session uninjured. That's the point of training. You might want to test yourself a couple times a year, and that's when you go all out, but that's not often. Because what are you training for? You're training for your sport, right? So if you're training for your sport and you actually want to be training and not testing, training is honestly, it can be between 50% and 80% of kind of what you think your testing maximum is. So most of the time it's just getting a nice workout without any joint pain. That's another thing. If there's joint pain, you got to stop right away, because if there's joint pain, it's 3 things. You're using too much range of motion and you're not ready for that. You're using too much weight and you're not ready for that, or it's too fast and you're not ready for that. And so there's 3 things that if you're feeling knee pain especially, or any joint pain, you got to stop, check yourself and be like, hey, am I going too deep? Am I going too heavy? Am I going too fast? And then adjust, and then then you should be good if you just follow that. If you don't follow that and you accidentally go too hard and you're feeling knee pain the next day, then I'm sorry, man, it's life. You gotta learn. And I don't want that for you, and that's why I'm explaining to you that range of motion, weight, and speed. And you gotta watch that. And if you do that, you should be fine. Okay, let's see it here. So now I felt a great pump in a lot of blood flow right here. It feels great. And so now walk around. Oh yeah, that's incredible. So I'm gonna do the same thing I'm gonna do not the same thing at all, but I'm gonna do knee flexion. So the opposite of knee extension, right? Is knee extension. The opposite of that is knee flexion. And you want both to be strong. So that's what we're talking about with general strength. General strength is strength throughout your entire body. Specific strength is just the exercise that applies to whatever you're trying to train, so your sport. And both are important, but the thing people miss is that playing your sport gives you specific strength. So if you go into the gym now and then you just train more specific strength, it's just more of the same thing. You could have just played your sport. And I mean, not to say that there isn't a time and place for specific strength in the gym, but the main thing is that if you have enough general strength, then you can do more specific strength. So if you have like a crazy amount of general strength throughout your entire body, through the full range, every single joint, then you have earned the right to do more specific things like power cleans and jumping drills. But before that, before you've really gained enough general strength, there's really not at any point in you doing like these plyometric jumping drills if your goal is to play basketball. If your goal is to be great at basketball, then you don't need to do the extra jumping drills. So I'll show you this. It's called a floss band. It works so well. And so right now I'm just using it for knee flexion. So I'm just gonna engage my muscle here and just pull. Just getting warmed up in the hammy. And today I'm mostly doing intuitive strength training, where I'm just feeling my body, feeling how my muscles feel, and I'm stopping when pretty much after I've felt the muscle work. And nothing more than that. I don't want to just overdo it. And so when you're doing knee flexion, you want to squeeze your glutes and have your hips tight to the ground, because that's where the gains happen with knee flexion. Boom, nice hammy pump. Do this side too. All right. Knee flexion's my biggest weakness. I pulled my hamstring like 7 times in university and even high school. And so it's always been an issue, and I never knew how to solve it. And now training it directly helps a lot. And that's good. It's not even a lot, but I'm sore from doing it the other day still, I think. So that's why intuitive, because if I just had a program that said 3 sets of 10 and I fought through it, that wouldn't be good. But right now I'm like a little bit sore from last workout, so I just didn't do as much. Pretty simple, right? Now I'm gonna recover more. Okay guys, next, cat crawl hold. This is more, so we did crawling before, but this is now we're getting into the shoulders. So up and down, we're protracting our shoulders. Okay, and we go to one side and we rotate. So we're just moving the shoulder and the scapula, which is like the muscle that attaches your shoulder to your back. On this side, you just want to be careful when you first do this stuff and ease into it, because the first time I was watching someone do this, they were way more athletic than me, and then I started doing stuff that I wasn't ready for. So you want to watch out. Even this, if the jumping's too much, like at the beginning I just did that, and then you want to get some air. Okay, you go out. One arm. This is a great lower body workout too. I'm getting a pump. That's good. And then go forward like this. Get onto your toes. This is called a planche. And you lean forward, hold it. And then get down. 90-degree push up. Shoulders. Planche. I'll get some side kicks. Let's try to be fluid. Move your body. That's good. Okay. Getting some back bridges. For this, you just want to push. I can't do a back bridge, heck no. We're just working on upper body strength. Just try to lift. If you can't get up off the ground, don't worry. Just do this. You can also work on a bit of neck strength. Just be careful you don't overdo that. One, two, three. That's good. Hands on the ground. And then right when your hands, you want to connect with the ground with your hands and push your shoulders. So here, see my shoulders moving? That's your scapula, right? So my elbows aren't bending, my shoulders are moving. So we want to be pushing into the ground before you even get up. And so you go here, you push into the ground, and then you kick up like this. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty tired. Normally I rest more, but here we go. Yeah, now we're pushing back. Make sure to breathe. We're opening up the thoracic spine in the back, middle back. Okay, now use your abs. Controlling the way down. Trust me. That gets you athletic. I had a setback basically because I neglected my upper body, which is because I was thought, hey, we're just trying to dunk out here. What's the point of using upper body? But that was before. Okay, next we're doing some isos for hanging. This is a great place to start, especially if you're a beginner hanging. I had to rehab because my bicep tendon got, I don't know what happened. I am not even gonna try to guess, but it's better now. And the reason being is because I was jumping high and thought I can neglect my upper body, but that's not true, guys. Don't neglect your upper body. Jumping is a full body activity. You got to be athletic and acrobatic, and that requires your full body. So here, because I wasn't able to do a full pull-up for a long time, so now I'm doing isos and just working my way back. But it's fine, because even if you can't do a full pull-up, you can work on the little things in a pull-up. Like my single arm hanging has gotten so much better. At the bottom, I just like to lift my legs. That was good. Okay, one more time. Up here, since I think actually for me is kind of not a common story. Most athletes have overdeveloped bicep and underdeveloped forearms. For me, it's the opposite, because when I was in university, I loved to lift a lot. Just biceps. Got to look good for the game. In my when I played varsity rugby at UVic, and it was just silly. It was actually more of a fun thing I would just do with the boys, you know? We've all been there. And there's nothing wrong with doing that, but then I got a desk job, and for like 6 years I didn't even touch my arms. But I would do a lot of functional stuff, carrying stuff, and like cooking, and then so I feel like my forearms got really strong, and my biceps kind of lagged behind, and jumping's 20% arm swing. So 20% arm swing. Whew. I mean, I don't know how strong your arms. It could be more than that. Everyone jumps differently, but upper body is a big factor, so don't neglect it. I'm not saying get a huge upper body, because you want your legs to be bigger if you're jumping in general, but you still need a really strong upper body for jumping and basketball. Okay, ready? We're gonna do toes to bar. This is something I'm working on, and it's tough, but if you can do toes to bar, your ability to pick up your legs becomes incredibly strong. If you can pick up your legs, you're gonna feel lighter in a basketball game. You're gonna be more agile. Your side to side movement's gonna be better. You are gonna be able to lift your legs higher for jumping and sprinting up the court. A lot of athletes that aren't fast are really slow right here. So if you can work to getting toes to bar, then that's dope. But I'm also gonna work on my scapula here. So you pull with your scapula. Like that. And then now we wanna pull and then toes to bar. Pull and then boom. Oh my gosh, so much better. Try again. Okay, last one. Okay, guys, that's improvement. That's improvement. That's improvement. Nothing like getting improved. Nothing like improving yourself in the gym. Oh, feels good. Okay, I'm gonna click back, do a progress post, because even just last week my toes to bars didn't feel nearly as strong. That was awesome. Okay, guys, we're getting to the fun stuff. It's squat time, baby. Squat time. Squat time. Squat time. Having a perfect form heels elevated squat. Correlated with my highest jumps in my life. And that was in the summer when I could dunk a dodgeball off my left foot and my right foot, which I could never do when I was in high school, which is pretty cool, or even university. That's pretty cool. Not only will I get back there, but I'm going to dunk, and it's going to be awesome. So I also want you to dunk. That's why I'm showing you this. That's why I'm not just, keeping this all to myself. It's not easy to walk around with a camera and speak in public spaces, but I'm doing that because, for a lot of reasons, but one of them is to help you, my friend, dunk and become a professional basketball player, or just whatever. If you want to just be extremely athletic and enjoy basketball for the rest of your life, that's what I'm planning to do. I'm never giving it up again. 6 years without basketball, I can't even believe it, dude. Cannot even believe it. Okay. Putting my notepad away because I know what to do now. Heel elevate squat, and then we're doing seated calf raises and tib raises, and it's going to be beautiful, my friend. Okay, you ready for this? This isn't necessarily heavy weight for me, but I'm just learning the movement. When you take time off, you want to go down in weight and let your body learn the movement again. If you're just beginning, same thing. You could even just do body weight or even assisted for like a month, just once a week. I'm telling you, it's magic. 2 sets of 5 once a week. That's all you need. And this is my 4th week at the same weight, and it honestly feels so good. Every single week it feels better. So I probably won't even go up. Maybe I think next week I'll go up in weight. But right now it is literally feeling incredible on my knees and my entire body. This is the ultimate jumping exercise. Okay. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Just think, push with your legs. That's the only thing, not your back. Not resting at the bottom, fighting at the bottom. Torso up, head to the ceiling. Yes. 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 Yes, that feels so good. Even better than last week. 4th week has felt significantly better. Muscles engaging. Feeling it in my quads, my hips. Not in my knees. When the whole time I'm thinking, the whole time I'm trusting myself, and I'm thinking, I'm pushing my hip. I'm thinking about my hip, and I'm pushing that out. So my knees go over my toes. Get into that squat position. My head is just going straight to the ceiling. And I'm controlling the bottom. I'm not resting at the bottom. I'm not just chilling there. I'm controlling the bottom with every rep. And so that's why you don't necessarily need to jump up and weight, because just having good form, you'd be surprised how lighter weights are way more challenging. And that's why I've been able, it's just 5 high quality reps, 2 high quality sets once a week. It works like magic. It's my number one advice to any young basketball player, rugby player, is to not lift for the numbers, not lift for the ego. Just lift for yourself. That's it. Your goal is to jump high. No ego. Block everyone else out. Doesn't matter how much you're lifting. That was 95 pounds. But like, dude, go body weight, go assisted if you need it. Does not matter. Hold a little dumbbell, a little kettlebell right here. Start building up slowly, 10 pounds, 15, 20. But just focus on the form, especially at the bottom of the rep. And that is the most important part. Nothing else. Okay, I did the squats. I'm so happy. Okay, next. Tib raises, seated calf raises. Here we go. Tib raises now. And then seated calf. I love tib raises. My least favorite thing about tib raises was that when I learned about them, I realized I was super strong at tib raises. And I was like, damn, well, that's not much to improve on, but it's still gotten stronger, which is great. And the reason I think I did soccer, basketball, and rugby, like non-stop, so that's a lot. It's a very tib dominant sport. It's a lot of deceleration. So the tib raises, you want to roll your ankles like that, and then roll them in like that, and get that rotation going, because that's just going to make your ankles way more resilient. And here I'm doing about 20. Do 10 to 20, but dude, like intuitive lifting. My biggest mistake with programs was just seeing like, hey, it says 20 reps. I'm going to do 20 reps no matter what. That's not a smart move, bro. Don't do that. What you want to do is just find a bit of blood flow, get your muscle working, a bit of a challenge. And the key is consistency. It's not just you're not going to get it in one session. Hey, there we go, that's done. I was like, last time I actually had too much of a burn. That felt like a proper, like last time I did maybe 85%. That time was like 60 to make up for that. Maybe I want to aim for like 70%. You know, you can go up and down with the intensity, but you need to balance it out. If you're feeling sore, that's not good. That's not the point of training. Training, you're not supposed to feel sore. The point of training is to feel more athletic, always. Just always more athletic. Always more athletic. Okay, seated tib, baby. Okay, I love me a seated tib. Seated calf. Because a seated calf, when your knee is bent, it works the soleus. And then when your knee is straight, it works the gastroc, which is up here. The soleus is attached to your Achilles heel. You also work your Achilles with a straight leg calf raise, but the key is both. The key is both. So last time, and I love telling you guys this, it helps with my training too, but last time I did 8 reps and I was too sore after. So this is a 40-pound weight. So I'm going to do 6 reps today to make up for it, because the goal is to not be sore. You want to get that knee nice and bent like that. Oh yeah. And you feel a nice stretch here. That's what you want. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and yeah, I'm already feeling a lot there. So good thing we did 6 today. That's why I love showing this to you as well, because if I was on my own, maybe I wouldn't be coaching myself and telling myself that 6 is enough today. Three. The stretch makes your tendons stronger, it makes your fascia stronger, and it makes your muscle bigger. 5, 6. And yeah, I mean, I felt less burn there, but let's keep it even. That's it, brother. That was a huge workout. I hope you found value in this. As always, it's been a pleasure. Subscribe because I want to go live and do live workouts, and that'll help you even more because then I can interact with you and answer all your questions, just like as if you're in a session with me. So you'd be getting, essentially a lot of information, from all my experiences to help you dunk and go professional. Thank you so much. Subscribe so we can go live and I can interact with you and we can have just a great time working out and reaching our goals to dunk and go professional. Okay, thank you. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Dude, squatted today. Dude, it felt so good. I want you to feel this feeling. It feels incredible. But what's going to feel more incredible is when I hit that dunk soon and you also hit that dunk.